Hey, what's going on, everyone? So this is my first video on my gaming channel. So I'm pretty excited about that. Nothing too crazy today. It's just gonna be a review of Jedi Survivor. Now, I beat this game the other day, and I loved Fallen Order. It was one of my favorite games of 2019. Jedi Survivor does everything better. I liked Cal better in this game. Um, I liked that there were mounts to get around. I liked that there was fast travel. I really liked that. Um, the story of the game was amazing. I'm not, in case there's anyone out there who hasn't played it yet, because, life happens. Not everyone can get to everything right away, like me. The High Republic is a big part of this story. I never cared about the High Republic before. They came out with the books, uh, um, and I was like, "Oh, that's cool," and I moved on. Never cared about it until I played this game. I was like, "Oh, this is really cool." I actually ordered one of the books, and it's supposed to be here today. But basically, I care about the High Republic now and want to learn more about it. Um, there is a twist in the game. I did not see it coming. Um, I did figure out one big plot moment. I saw a video of it on TikTok, I believe, and I just kind of used context clues to figure out what happened. Um, so I knew it was going to happen pretty much. Um, so those are the good things I have to say about the game. I do have a few things. Um, they did rework the map this time around. Um, and you can actually filter things. So, like, there's not so many icons on your map. Like, you can filter chests, uh, force tears, whatever else. You can filter all of this. Um, and that made it really helpful doing, collecting when you're exploring. That being said, I feel that the map is still a lot. It's just it's kind of confusing to look at sometimes. And when you're trying to pinpoint an area you want to look at, the whole thing's moving around like a Word document. It's just shifting everywhere. I could have done without that. There were definitely some frame rate issues. I had a lot of glitching happening. Um, Mainly on the planets. Not but especially like the first planet you visit in the game. You spend a lot of time on it, and I noticed a lot of frame rate issues, like just out in the world. Um, Not so much indoors when you're in smaller spaces. It was really good. Um, I don't know what the term for it is in video games. I know in photography, I think it's called ghosting. Um, but that happened quite a few times with Cal, where I'd be moving the camera or just moving him, and there'd be like three after images of him, and that got to be a lot sometimes. Um, some of the puzzles were. I don't mind puzzles in games. Personally, I feel that I shouldn't have to look up how to do a puzzle. That's kind of a bit ridiculous. That's just me. Um, those are the negatives I have to say about it. I will add that when I first got the game, it crashed none. But then, like a few days ago, they updated the game and it had crashed on me twice, which undid quite a bit of progress. Um, so it had, reloaded me from the last meditation spot that I saved at, and I had to do a bunch of collecting over again, which was annoying, but I didn't mention this earlier when I was talking about what I liked about it. The customization is so much better in this game. You can customize pretty much everything. You can customize Cal's hair, his beard, and all of his outfits. So his shirt, his jacket, his pants. Um, you can customize the different pieces of your lightsaber, and you have a bunch of colors to start off with. You have all the colors that you ended Fallen Order with. Um, Interestingly enough, you can't customize the Mantis this time around, the ship, which I thought was interesting. And you can customize BD1 as well with a bunch of different parts. And there's also new materials you can customize your weapons and BD1 with in this game. You've got paints, metals, woods, leathers. It's crazy. Um, you can customize the blaster you get later in the game with all kinds of different pieces and materials. It's ridiculous. You get different fighting stances. Um, I find myself using the single bladed and the dual wield more than the others. That's just me. Um, yeah, it's a little bit crazy of all the customization, and I like that because in Fallen Order it was very minimal, and I mean you didn't have a lot of options. You had very minimal options to customize in the first place, but then those options that you unlock cosmetics weren't a lot. And then, you had the lightsabers, which is about the most in-depth customization you could get in that game. Um, you start to get this game, Jedi Survivor, off with all the abilities that you learned in Fallen Order, which I figured you would, but it was nice to have that confirmed. You know, um, you do learn a couple things throughout the game. It isn't necessarily training, but more so advice. Um, you get a couple BD1 upgrades that will help in the game, and you can actually use him as binoculars this time around, which is pretty cool. Um, uh, yeah, so this is honestly story wise and customization leaps and bounds better than Fallen Order. I still like Fallen Order, but Jedi Survivor is just so good. Um, yeah, I hope there's another game. I do. It. This is probably my favorite game I've played this year so far. Um, I haven't played a whole lot, um, but yeah, this is probably my favorite, and then I'd say Hogwarts Legacy is probably second, because I've always been more of a Star Wars fan, and I haven't liked Harry Potter in years, but Hogwarts Legacy was a good time. Um, so yeah, honestly, I'd give it probably. I'm gonna give it an 8.5 out of 10, just because of the the bugs, glitches, and performance issues I did encounter during the game. And that was another thing. I experienced some bugs that were kind of annoying, where a couple times I would go to press R1 to use one of my force abilities, and it just wasn't doing anything. And so I had to look that up, and it basically said reloading from the last saved work. That's annoying. Um, and then I was doing uh, kind of a side mission. They're called rumors in this game. Uh, and it was a bounty hunter. And he just didn't show up in the area where he was. And I tried doing it like 3 times. And eventually I had to just reload and start again. And it worked that time. So that kind of stuff's annoying. But yeah, I'd give the game a solid 8.5 out of 10. And I really enjoyed it. I might play New Game Plus. I don't really know. I'm not a fan of Fallen Order's New Game Plus, and this is pretty much the same thing. So I don't know if I'll play it just to get a couple extra lightsaber colors that I probably won't use, honestly. So yeah, that's my review of Jedi Survivor. I hope you enjoy my first video on my gaming channel. I have some more ideas coming up. In fact, if it works out, I'll have another video up this evening, later today. But if it doesn't, obviously there won't be anything up. I do have a couple ideas for full game series that I'm gonna do. That's just coming down to kind of deciding which one to play first. But I think I know. So that's gonna do it for today. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. I will see you guys next time.